And good evening to you from Centennial Park Stadium in Toronto. This is the 23rd match of the season for the Rhinos. It's also the 23rd of the season for the home team, and that being the Toronto Lynx here tonight. It's the fourth and last meeting of the year between the two teams. That is, of course, in the regular season. Rochester coming in tonight, currently second in the USL First Division, and Toronto last place in the USL First Division, but still Toronto in the playoff front. Coming into this one, only 9 points out of the last playoff spot. So it's still a battle, an uphill battle for Toronto. And for the Rhinos, the main focus, of course, is to try and get back to winning ways and maybe even have a shot at catching Montreal for first place. At least trying to lock up second place is a huge key for the Rhinos, as they are currently tied with Charleston and Vancouver. Last game, another disappointing game for the Rhinos, even though they did come up with a tie. It feels like a loss, if you will, as they tied this Toronto team. Another late-game giveaway goal, which accounted for the tie for the Toronto Lynx. And it seems to be something that has happened quite often for the Rhinos. I asked Coach Corey Calloway, he felt like maybe this was becoming habit forming.
It's not a habit. It's just, I think, mental letdowns. In this case, it's not really a fatigue thing. With the mind, how tired you get, but in T-Bone's case, it just come on. So maybe he was still a little cold or whatever. But I thought it was obviously an unfortunate thing to happen, considering we'd put ourselves in a position to win the game, and probably should have been at least two up at that stage. So we have to take some blame for the offensive side of it as well, because we didn't have that killer instinct to put Toronto away and put them in a position where they wouldn't be fighting for that equalizer later on. It's unfortunate it's happened. It's cost us 8 points, I think, in games like that, where we've given goals away in the last 10-15 minutes of games. Those 8 points would have us way in first place now. And having said that, from the point of view that I always look, glass being half empty or half full, let's get it half full. The headline in the newspaper said we tied the last place Lynx. You could very easily have said we tie Toronto and move into second place. It's all verbiage, it's all the way people look at things, and unfortunately a lot of people seem to be overlooking the fact that we're still in second place in this league and with a great chance of making the playoffs in a very good position. And it's all in our hands from now on, so we've got to make sure we get a good result today.
Now, once again, great pressure early on in the game, wasn't there?
Yeah, I thought the team started out very well. We changed the play very well. Got at them through changing it to Martinez on the right from the left, and from the left to the right from the right to the left to Steele, and we created a number of threats early on. Put them on the heels and sort of set the tempo a little bit. Unfortunately, we didn't get the goal we were looking for early, which probably could have killed the game for them, because they'd obviously come in to play 4-5-1 just like they did before and defend doggedly, and they did that to a certain extent and prevented us from getting that goal. But we still kept pegging away and ultimately got it. And to then throw the points away is disappointing.
Mark Galloway, the coach of the Rhinos. So tonight here at the Centennial Park Stadium in Toronto, it's the Rhinos taking on the Toronto Lynx. We'll have the game for you in a moment. This is the Rhinos Broadcast Network.
From far and wide.
Well, nicely done by policemen here. And this being a day in which they honor some of the emergency services, ambulance drivers and firemen and police department and so on and so forth here in Toronto at Centennial Park Stadium. Again, the fourth and the last meeting of the year between the two teams. Rochester started out their first game against Toronto this year with a 2-0 win here. And then in Rochester ended up in 2 one-goal ties. In both of those games, it was a late game comeback by the Toronto Lynx to record the tie. So the Rhinos will be looking to turn the tables on this one here tonight. Glad to have you along as we check the starting lineups, brought to you by Nafego, Rochester's full-service realtor. And starting out in goal again for the Toronto Lynx tonight is the former Rhino, Theo Zegard, as he enters this game with a 5-8-3 record of 1.56 goals against average. The defensive role would include Rick Titus, Andres Arango, who was out suspended in the game last game, Marco Berenikovic, and Chris Williams. And then the midfield, David DiFacito, Robbie Aristodemo, Jamie Dodds, Gordon Chin, and this Kevin Jeffrey is a midfielder on this lineup sheet, but he's pretty much a forward. The other forward, Matt Pulaski. And then for the Rhinos, starting out in goal, besides Bello. As he enters this one with a 10-4-8 record of 0.82 goals against average, and Bello has gone the distance this season. The defenders, Frankie Sanfilippo, Kenny Birch, Scott Calcutta, and Nate Kraft. In the midfield, John Ball, Aaron Lines, Ken Wabansu, and Mike Ambersley. And then up front, Greg Howes moves out of the midfield position up to a forward, along with newcomer Chris Bagley, who saw his first action with the Rhinos last game. That was on Friday night in Rochester. All right, the Rhinos will be attacking the net to our right. They're wearing the dark gray uniform with the yellow trim and the yellow socks of the night. And the Toronto Lynx wearing a black shorts and socks and a fluorescent green jersey. That's a bright one, all right. And if there's any fog, we'll be able to see the Toronto players very well. As they'll line it up, the Rhinos will be shooting in the net to our right. Scott Dallow in goal down to our left. And we'll be getting lined up and ready to go in this one here tonight. As the Rhinos and the Lynx go at it, each having played, including tonight, 23 games of the season. 22, of course, until this point. And that's the second fewest goals or games played in the league. Minnesota has 21, and that being the fewest games played in the league thus far. Lined up and ready for the kickoff to be taken by the Lynx. Pulaski and Dodge in the center circle waiting for the start. And the whistle blows, and we are underway tonight here at Centennial Park Stadium. Drop back down to Arango with the right foot. Field and fired down the right wing side, and back to Calcutta for the Rhinos, knocking it down in 35 for Kraft. Drops it back to Calcutta again, jams it up the midfield. Locked into the center circle, picked up by Bagley. Rolls it off with the near wing and running onto the ball to Sanfilippo. Long chip to the left wing side. Let's play it over top of Ambersley, but in behind offside flag against the Rhinos. Rochester offside the first time of the night. Referee for this game, Paul Ward, out of Vancouver. The linesman, Joe Fletcher and Isaac Raymond. And the fourth official is Mike Roken. I don't think I'd get it right. If you keep trying long enough, you'll get it right. Cleared downfield into Rhino territory, hit in the air and off the head of, evidently, off of Pulaski at the left wing side. Going to be taken by Kraft. Along the midfield, flicked across midfield, beginning a foot out of his chin, pops it up in the air, out of bounds to the far side, another throw in for the Rhinos near midfield. Nate Kraft to the throw in. Backs up with the ball and across midfield. Flick forward by Howes up in the air and underneath it trying to get loose. His lines but can't do it. Ball is drawn in and taken away by the Lynx. Jammed high in the air through midfield again. Knocked down by Calcutta. Comes away with it across the midfield line. Trying to give it to Bagley as he is able to flick it forward for Howes. Knocks it down, but then it's played away by Arango. Out of bounds in the far wing. Here the Rhinos with a throw in. Across midfield this time. They're in lines with the ball. Long switch to the right wing side, off of the near corner of the 18. Ball goes back to the far side, but that's through. Everybody spins out over the end line. And a goal kick for the Toronto Lynx. Just getting started here in Toronto. No score thus far. Theo Zegard will take the goal kick. He's been playing most of the games this year. Played the last 5 straight now with the 2 wins, 2 losses, and a tie. Sends it through midfield, blocked at the far wing, out of bounds, and that off of the Lynx, so throw in for the Rhinos near midfield. Kraft once again for the throw-in. At the midfield line for Greg Howes. Draws it forward as he gets tied up and then battling Chin for the ball. Comes loose ball with it. Well, a kick, but that's deflected off the leg, out of bounds to the far side. Throw in for the Rhinos, 20 yards out on the left wing side. Bagley will leave it there, and Birch will move up for the throw in. Kenny Birch with the long bomb. He's actually about 25 yards out off the left wing side. So it might be a little long, but he backs up a couple of more steps. Takes the run at it, and here's the throw-in. Low line drive throw-in. Toward the front, Bagley couldn't get up high enough for it, and then it's headed away and out of bounds deep in the corner this time. Another throw-in for the Rhinos. This will be down around the 5, off of the left wing corner. Birch is there for the throw-in. On the end line, delivers it down inside the 6, headed up in the air, coming up top. Wise picks it out of midair with one left foot. Will crack it, but goes wide right and out over the end line. First shot of the night, taken by the Rhinos, but this is wide. Another goal kick for Zagar. 4th minute, no score here in Toronto. Well, the Lynx have been playing pretty well of late. After going winless in their first 11 games, they have only 3 losses. In the last 3, 2 losses and a tie. However, going winless in the first 11 have gone 5-3-3 in the last 11. Laid out on the near wing, shipped across midfield, but out of bounds on the near side, and that off of the Rhinos. So throw in for the Lynx on the near side. Benedikovic with the throw in to Chin, back to Benedikovic, and downfield, but there is Birch for the Rhinos to knock it away. Underneath it, Bunches. They'll volley it through midfield. It's played back. Zigard coming out to his 18-wheel first time in the way. High focus in midfield. Just through the center circle, dotted forward by Pelguda for line. Pump from behind, take it down by Chin. He lands on the ball. It's up, and now does the pushing with Chin. Kalowski comes in, shoves him back. They bump at each other. The referee is right there. As the other players come in to settle things down, talking to the referee. And the ref wanting to call over the combatants, if you will. Aaron Lines for the Rhinos. And Chin for the... Oh, Chin's going to get the red card. Chin gets the red card. And Lines for the yellow. The 5th minute. In the 5th minute of play, Chin receives a direct red card. And Aaron Lines with the yellow. So, that creates an interesting situation. As the players pushing at each other. No punches or anything thrown, but a lot of pushing going on. And then Chin receives the yellow card, or the red card, so a late throw a man down. All right, early happenings here in Toronto. See if the Rhinos were able to take advantage of it. Free kick at the midfield line. Birch with it for the Rhinos. Pass ahead for Lines. Spins to the outside with the left foot, goes deep off in the far wing. Atwood in behind is Kraft, and that's an offside against the Rhinos once again, second of the match. So free kick for Toronto from about their 18. And no further than that, out around the 20. To be taken by Zagar. Zagar complaining about Bagley being too close. Wants the official to back him up. Looks like Bagley's plenty of distance back. However, he backs up a couple of feet. So Zagar set with the right foot. Drives a low one through midfield. Around the Rochester 25, broad forward into the center circle. Ambersley tipping it off for John Ball. Drops it back to his 35. San Filippo with a long chip up the right side. Al's able to flick it forward, trying to get in behind Bagley. As he battles tight as the ball pops into the air, comes down to the end line. Out over the end line, off of Toronto with corner kick for the Rhinos. Rochester's first corner of the match. This one off the right wing side. Lyons will take the kick, a left-footed kicker, an in-swinging kick. 7th minute, no score in Toronto. Line set. Lines it up, goes for the back post. Headed high in the air, and not over the end line again. And at the corner this time from the other side. Off the left wing side, Rochester corner kick. Will be taken by John Ball. Ball placing it. Right-footed kicker, an in-swinging kick. Has to serve it up, and here it comes. Low in the box. Headed quick going. Rampa missing wide right. And out over the end line off of House. So a goal kick once again for the Toronto Lynx. Sponsors for these podcasts tonight include the World Champ, The official strength training facility of the Rochester Sports Group at 1717 East Avenue. By Power Trip, taste the power. By Marina Dodge, 943 Rick Road in Webster. And also by the Democratic Chronicle. Catch all of tonight's Rhinos game highlights in tomorrow's DNC. Through midfield. Foul is called in the Rhinos and a free kick for the Toronto Lynx just across midfield in Rhino territory. Aristodino placing the ball for the free kick. Again, just across the midfield line. No score in the game, just getting underway. Aristodino takes a look and now sends it down around the Rochester 15, headed out at the near end of the box. Settled there by Dodge, looking for the cross in front, blocked away. Off the foot of Burton out on the near side. Throw in for the Lynx from about 10 yards out on the near side. Throw in, Benedikovic, cross along the 6, down in front, played it over top, and pushed in along the 6 to the far side, cross in front, headed through the 6 and out the near end. The service off the right wing side by Williams, trying to get it to Dodge, that misses, comes off on the near side, out of bounds. Throw in deep in the corner for the Rhinos. Birch over for the throw in. From just about down at the end line. Back to the throw in. Makes a run at it. Sends it all the way out to almost near midfield. Up in the air, headed forward by Orengo. Blocked in the air for Jeffrey. Lines bumps him, and the ball comes down to Bonsu. He'll work the left wing side to Kraft for the pass ahead the lines out at midfield. Chased by Aristodino, runs into him, and Aristodino takes the ball away. Tackle attempt by Kraft, but getting away Aristodino on the right side. Down far into the box, crossing foot, and stepping in to block it away is Sanfilippo. Not the left foot on it as he is trying to feed it through to the breaking Pulaski. Aristodino again crosses on the near side. Sanfilippo with the air, heads it up, and out of the box. That's not away by Kaguta out of the near side. However, offside flag in the air. As the Lynx offside. So a free kick for the Rhinos from around their own 15. 10th minute, no score. The Lynx a man down as Gordon Chin takes the red card in the 5th minute. Along with that Aaron Lyons at the same time, and the same bit of a pushing match drew the yellow card. Scott Dallow placing the ball. Again, Dallow has gone the distance thus far this season for the Rhinos. And the ball downfield on the goal kick. Bagley back, couldn't control, lines up with it, brings it forward. Draws it to the outside of the left wing. Kraft return pass in front, and it's too far ahead. Out of lines, rolls, or make that Ambersy rolls into the 6 where it's picked up by Zegar, and then kicks it out across midfield. Turning back to the ball goes Sanfilippo, and a foul is called on Pulaski. Rhinos will have the free kick on the restart, the wrong side of midfield. Ahead for Palguda. Goes to the outside on the left wing of midfield for Kraft. Drops it back to Palguda. They'll roll it along the 35 in the middle for Birch. Looks like the Rhinos maybe have pushed it Kraft up into the midfield and are going right at the moment with 3 defenders. On the near side line, tips it to the outside for ball. Didn't play it in the middle, but blocked away by Orengo and pushed forward to Aristodino. And again, a feed on the outside on the right wing for Jeffrey. He's watched closely approaching the midfield by. Kraft on him, turns it to the outside for Williams. Drops it back to the middle for Orengo. With the right foot, he'll deliver through midfield into Rhino territory, but that one spins out of bounds. Throw in for the Rhinos from their own 35 on the far side. Now the 12th minute from Toronto and no score. Right away by Sanfilippo. Rolls it along on the near side. The ball. Toss it forward. Pass back to the middle on the left wing side to Palguda. Feeds it into the center circle for Bonsu. And he pops a high volley from midfield on the far wing. Blocked toward the play by Bagley, but got away. And Rango taken down by Bagley as the foul is called. And a free kick for Toronto from their own 40 off the right wing side, the far side of the field. Rochester returning home next Saturday against the Puerto Rico Islanders. Next Saturday is the next home game for the Rhinos. The next game for the Rhinos also. Through midfield, Birch heads it across into the center circle. Up in the air they go. The ball comes down on the near wing, and Sanfilippo off the midfield for ball. As he's challenged there by DePlacido, spun around and pulled off the ball, and the whistle stops play. The referee will have something to say to DePlacido about his near tackle. Rhinos, free kick from the midfield line. Rolls it off in the middle for Lines. Looks to his left and draws it back to Palguda, stepping forward. First ties a high floater downfield. Then it comes down at the 18, where it's grabbed on the fly by Zegar. Waits for the players to move away. Rolls it outside the box now. Takes his time, drawing it forward. Pressure from House. So Zagar, low kick through the center circle. Dropped back by Dodge for Aristodemo. Zone side of midfield. Now we have a little pushing going on, and the foul is called on the Rhinos, so we'll have a quick restart here by the Lynx. Off the left wing side, Benedikovic trying to turn by ball and does. Feeds it off in the middle, but taken down is Benedikovic. So a free kick now for the Lynx, 30 yards out off the left wing side. Benedikovic, the defender, placing the ball, but Aristodemo was also there. No score, 14th minute. Rhinos have a three-man wall, 20 yards out. Aristodemo, right-footed kicker, swings it in for the back post. Up, flick toward the net, and it's grabbed there by Battle. The head ball coming from Arango. So Battle makes the stop as Toronto gets a shot away. Out the near side for Birch, long to the left wing, and running onto the ball goes Kraft as he tries to get in behind Arango. And does. Ball rolls to the corner to the end line. They stop there, try to turn in front, but that's blocked away off the foot of Arango and out. Throw in deep in the corner for the Rhinos. Off the left wing side. Looks like Bagley coming over for the throw-in. Chris Bagley, the newcomer, second game as a Rhino. Saw his first action in the second half last night. Or last game, that's Friday night. Long throw-in into the middle of the sixth, up in the air and brought down by Zagar. Throws it out on the near side. Sanfilippo moving in. He'll volley it forward, flicked in the air by Bonsu. Coming down to the 20, and then it's hammered away out of midair by Arango. Gets it back again now, sends it downfield. Sanfilippo nods to the side for Palguda. Rhinos have it. Off on the left wing, Kraft at midfield. He passed toward the midfield line. Line's dropping it back. Palguda off the left wing side, a feed forward. Hit the head, House to Bagley on the left wing as he runs into Williams. They battle 1v1, and the ball brought away by Williams. Pass to midfield, Jeffrey first times it up the right wing, and it's chased back by Palguda for the Rhinos. Turning to the outside as it's booted out of bounds. Off of Palguda, kicked away by Pulowski, but off of the Rhinos, so a throw in for the Lynx. And around the Rochester 18. Thrown in back on the right wing side. Taken by Jeffrey. He'll turn it to the outside for Williams. Return pass. Give it go to Jeffrey. Looking for the cross. Blocked away by Burton. And it rolls out of bounds on the far side. Throw in for the Lynx. About 10 yards out on the far side. It was a foul call. Evidently, as the ball is placed on the field, it must have been a foul call. Yes, it is. Might have been a handball. All right, so a free kick for Toronto again, 10 yards out off the right wing side. Aristodemo sends it down in front, knocked out along the six, and booted out over the end line by Ball. Corner kick. That was skipping through, and everybody had an opportunity, but nobody could get to the ball, seemingly. Corner for the Lynx, first corner of the match. Off the left wing side, Dodge will take the kick. He's the one that, of course, scored the game-tying goal on Friday night in Rochester off the PK. Dodge sends it down in front, end of the way up top. And standing on the shot was Pulowski. Now Jeffrey with a first-timer, but misses that one way high and wide to the right side, out over the end line. A goal kick for the Rhinos. Other sponsors of these broadcasts tonight include Nextel, helping groups get things done. Call 800-NEXTEL-9. By Best Volvo, Rochester's exclusive Volvo dealer at 1500 University Avenue. Also brought to you by the Messenger Post. Stay posted. Call 442-POST for subscription information. Dallo with the right foot drives it away downfield. Up they go. It comes loose, and Bonsu nods it further ahead. Headed in the air by Arango. Underneath it, Bagley, but the whistle to stop play as the foul was called on the Rhinos. Free kick for Toronto from their own 30. A little bit to the right of center. And Zagar will come out to take the kick. No score thus far. 17th minute from Toronto. Centennial Park Stadium. A little bit of cloudiness overhead. Actually, it was fairly cool as we had some wind. That one chipped down in front, trying to spot it through. Sanfilippo back. He'll kick it out over the end line. Another corner kick for Toronto. So slotted through. Pulowski out, but couldn't reach it. And Sanfilippo back first. Corner kick for Toronto. Aristodemo placing the ball. Right-footed kicker, out-swinging kick. Goes into the box. Up they go. It's knocked down and booted off at the far end of the 18 again. DiPlacido in underneath it. Draws to the side. Plays it back up top for Aristodemo. Has it 18 yards out. His return pass. DiPlacido on the left wing with the left foot. Boxing down along the 20 on the near side. Birch runs up the back of Pulaski. That's started forward. Palguda spins in behind. He'll bike it forward, and Jeffrey now hits it in the air. Make that Titus. That's played down inside the box, rolling to the end line, and grabbed by Vallow. So the Rhino keeper has the ball. Far corner of the 18 and throws it out across midfield for Ambersley. He'll tip it further ahead. Williams off the tip of his toe for Toronto. Settles the ball and is being chased there by House. And it's driven out the midfield. Palguda underneath it. Able to knot it forward to Lines. Turns it to the outside. Spinning around to get away is Kraft. Pass ahead up the left wing. House drawing it forward. Tried to turn it to the outside. Got away. And it comes loose and cleared all the way back to the midfield circle. Bonsu to the outside again on the left wing for Palguda. He'll serve it across on the right side for Ball. Off the chest, breaking to the end line. Cross down in front, back post. Sliding in, Howes couldn't get the foot on it. Nice speed by Ball for the back post. Howes sliding in, could not quite get the foot on it. All right, here come the Lynx again through midfield. At the midfield line, drop back, and turning back goes Williams. 19th minute, no score. Played back to the keeper. That'll make that Zagar has it there. From his 18 with the right foot, will then send it downfield. Knotted further. Chased down by Birch. He'll head it back to the keeper. That'll picks it up at his 10. Moves the players away. Throws it out on the near side and brought forward by Sanfilippo. Approaching midfield. Out the right side. Ball drops it right back to Sanfilippo. As Di Placido pressures. Pass across midfield for Ambersley. Passes it to the outside. Ball dropping it back again along midfield for Lines. Giving it off to Ambersley. Plays it back to the middle, and Birch will then switch to the left wing for Palguda. As he's pressured by Aristodemo. Drops it back. Birch through midfield for Lines. Rhino's playing a game of keep away at the moment. Pass to the center circle on the near wing where it's taken by Sanfilippo. With the right foot, chips it ahead, but that's booted away by Titus. Popped up in the air, coming down around the 30. Titus getting to it, hits it further into the center circle. Bonsu on the left wing side, this time to Kraft. Trying it forward in the middle with the right foot, chips it down inside. Going for it at the end line. Ball won't get there in time. It's out over the end line. And a goal kick once again for the Toronto Lynx. 20th minute now, no score from Toronto. As Zagar will place the ball. So far in the game on the scoreboard, 3 shots for the Lynx and 2 recorded for the Rhinos. Ball flighted through midfield. Headed forward, but Palguda steps up to then kick it across midfield and into Toronto territory, which is to my right here in the first half of play. Throw in for the Lynx. On the near side, Di Placido tips it off to Dodge. Ahead for Pulaski through the midfield line. Long to the right wing side. Jeffrey blocks it forward. He's in the loose and in behind. Up the right side, shoot. Jeffrey gets the shot away. Puts it inside the left post. A breakdown on defense for the Rhinos, allowing Jeffrey in behind. And the Lynx take advantage of it. First goal of the night going to Toronto in the 21st minute. As Kevin Jeffrey comes up with his 5th goal of the season. He's now tied with Dodge for the team leading goals. So it's 1-0 lead for Toronto. And that would be the first time that Toronto has had the lead on the Rhinos this year. Right across midfield at the right side. Sanfilippo gets away from him out of bounds. Last game here, the Rhinos won it 2-0, so Toronto didn't score. Both games in Rochester, the Rhinos scored first, and Toronto came back with late game goals to tie it up at 1 apiece. And so, therefore, Toronto until this point had never led the Rhinos this season. Taken by Zagar. And remember now, Toronto a man down since the 5th minute. As they are out shooting the Rhinos down 4-2 and lead 1-0. Through midfield, Kraft heads it forward. Titus heads it in the air, coming down center circle. Sanfilippo moves forward. He'll hit it downfield. Big bouncer down to the 18, grabbed by Zagar. And right on the doorstep is Bagley. Zagar waits for the players to move away. Rolls it outside the 18, then bangs it away downfield on the near wing. Di Placido tried to get to it, but that's out of bounds. Throw in on the near side for the, well, we're going to say the throw in going to the Lynx. Or was a foul called? Evidently a foul was called. So the ball plays, free kick for Toronto. Chip down inside, it's nodded away. DePlacido after the ball gets to it. Did chip it out to midfield. Turning back, Bagley trying to get loose. Sliding in to tackle it away is Benedikovich. And he'll kick it all the way back to Chris Williams. Down around his 20. For the Lynx, Williams spinning around. He'll play it back to the keeper. And Zigar first times it away. That's headed forward by Birch. Cross midfield. In the center circle. Then Dodge plays it back to the keeper. Zigar is 15. He'll put it away up the right side. Through midfield. Palguda touching it away to the outside for Kraft. Dropping it back to Palguda. With the right foot. Delivers through midfield. Trying to slot it through, but blocked away by Arango. Jeffrey with the right foot. Cross midfield, but Palguda's there for the Rhinos. Cross midfield again into Toronto territory. As Kraft drops it off for Embersley. Trying to turn to the outside. Howells off his foot and out of bounds. Throw it on the far side near midfield for Toronto. 24th minute and the Lynx leading 1-0. Williams with a throw into Aristodemo. Gets a return pass to Williams. To the outside for Jeffrey. Cross midfield. As he's able to feed it forward to Dodge. Toronto on the attack. Dodge throws it up. Now service through the near end of the 18. Chased down and it's out of bounds. As ball blocking DePlacido. Ball rolls out. Throw in for the Rhinos from their own 15 on the near side. Throw in to be taken by Sanfilippo. Goes down along his own 18 in the middle for Paul Guda. As he's chased there by Pulaski. Pass to the far wing, but stepping up to intercept is Jeffrey. On the right side, drawing it down to the far end of the 18. Looking for the cross. Now Guda in the way. Jeffrey still has the end line. Pass in front. Blocked away then off of Sanfilippo out over the end line. And another corner kick for the Toronto Lynx. Off the right wing side. Aristodemo will take the kick. Right-footed kicker, an out-swinging kick. Serves it up, coming down to the middle, and headed up in the air, and coming down to the end line was grabbed by Vallo. Vallo runs out to the 18 and throws it ahead up the left wing across the midfield line for Greg Howes. Challenge there, 1v1 with Williams. Howes lays it out on the left wing side. Kraft will return pass to Howes. Chips it away up the left wing and chasing after it goes ball. At the end line, trying to get loose. Blocking the end line, but turning back is still controlled. And hammered away out to midfield by the Lynx. Stepping in Birch, Dodge to the side for Palguda. Off the left toe, settles the ball and chips it up off wing side. Kraft after it, beginning to it, Dodge. Times it away along the far touchline. Aristodemo with a pass ahead. Jeffrey, but blocked away, however, was out of bounds. So a throw in for the Rhinos on the far side of the field. Throwing about 35, 40 yards out. 26 minutes, Toronto leading 1-0. Go in, Howes right back to the outside, but a little bit too far away from Palguda, couldn't reach it. So the Rhinos turn it right back over to Toronto. Lynx taking the throw in from around their own 35 on the far side of the field. Out to midfield. As it's blocked away. However, a foul is called on Palguda. So it'll be a free kick for the Lynx near the midfield line on the far side. Rhinos at home next Saturday against the Puerto Rico Islanders. That's next Saturday night, the next action for the Rhinos. Get your tickets, come on out to Frontier Field next Saturday night. With the right foot, Aristodemo drives it downfield. And Filippo there heads it back toward midfield. As the ball is knocked down, pass off, DePlacido feeds it forward. Turning back for the ball, Pulaski rolls it to the outside down the near wing for Benedikovich. Pass along the 18, knocked down in front. Here's a loose ball. DePlacido with a shot, but blocked away. Up over top of the net, over the end line. Out of play, it'll be a goal kick, rather a corner kick once again for the Lynx. So Toronto continuing to get scoring opportunities here. And have capitalized on one. Again, Aristodemo placing the ball deep in the corner. Where the corner kick goes out high this time. DePlacido dumps it through. Benedikovich with a shot. Knocked down, blocked in front. Might have hit Bagley. Out to midfield. Headed up in the air on the near side. Bouncing ball. And Williams underneath it again, but puts it out of play. Throw in for the Rhinos at midfield on the near side. Birch ready for the throw in. High in the air, coming down around the 25. Dotted out top, taken by Embersley. Turns to his left, rolls it to the outside for Kraft. Has it again, 25 yards out with the right foot. Takes a crack at the net and misses the right post by a couple of feet. So Kraft going for the frame, but this is wide. It'll be a goal kick once again for the Lynx. Rhinos are currently taking deposits for season tickets for the 2007 season. $25 non-refundable deposit. It's all you need to get in on the priority list for season tickets for next year. You can call 454-KICK to be added to the list. Get those season tickets reserved for next season. Played through midfield, bouncing down inside the 18, sliding in on the ball is Zagar as he wins the race for the ball with Greg Howes. Howes moving up to a forward spot tonight with Chris Bagley. That's booted high in the air downfield across midfield. Not informed by Kraft for Howes. Couldn't reach him and lines up with it to the outside for Howes. Has it 40 yards out, spins away to the ball and comes loose. Howes up the left wing. Cross along the 18. No help there for the Rhinos. Has it knocked down and carried away by Aristodemo. Kicks it out near midfield. His players tangle. Go down. Ball comes loose to John Ball. Slots it through, but nobody can get to it. Throw the ball out over the end line. Another goal kick for the Lynx. Sponsors of these podcasts, Connolly Printing, the official printer for the Rhinos, at 426-4150. Salvatore's, trying to deliver everything but babies. Also brought to you in part by Health Source Chiropractic. Dr. Donald Dudley, the official chiropractor for the Rochester Sports Group. You can go online to find him at thehealthsourcechiropractic.com. Your partners in complete health. Flick forward into Rhino territory. Burt's turning back to the ball. He's there, challenged by Pulaski. Turns it to the outside, spins with the left foot and drives it out across midfield. Back into Toronto territory. Williams will tip it off. Taken by Arango, and it's through midfield. That's played it over everybody and rolls all the way down inside the Rhino 18 where it's picked up by Vallo. He'll throw it out on the near wing to Ball. Drops it off. San Filippo in underneath it from his own 35. Long on the right wing side. That's headed in the air by Bagley. Howes up the right side, trying to get underneath it. His line, going for net, and again with the upper right corner, misses high and wide out over the end line on the shot taken by Lines. So a goal kick for Theo Zagar and the Toronto Lynx. Yeah, the Lynx started off the year very slow again, had gone 11 games without a win. But then, since that point, the last 11 have played 5-3-3. They've done very well to trying to stay somewhat in the hunt for a playoff spot. Out into the center circle with the ball is knocked down. Ball jams it forward. Line sends it to the outside of the left wing for Kraft. Taking it out of the midfield by. He's watched there by Jeffrey. Kraft across midfield, switching back to his right. Rolls it off of the center circle for San Filippo. Across midfield, down into Toronto territory. San Filippo up the right side. Takes his time, slows it up. Crosses down along the 18. Bagley in underneath to try to draw it forward. Tied up. Howes with the left foot. Takes a crack at it. That's blocked at the 18. Now booted in the air out the midfield by Titus. In underneath it goes Talguda for the Rhinos up the left side. In the 31st minute, Toronto up 1-0. And Talguda high chip down inside the 18. But that grabbed on the fly by Zagar. Thrown out on the near side and brought away by the Lynx. Deposito up the left wing side. Needs it forward ahead on the near wing where it's chased after, pulled into the near end of the 18 by Pulaski. Goes for that and grabbed off the 6 on the fly by Vallo. Throws it ahead out to the 35 for Lines. Up the middle of the field into the center circle. He gets spun around by Deposito, dropping it back for Bonsu. Pass ahead of the midfield line, taken by Embersley. Sliding it through, but that's in behind Howes. Too far ahead, won't get to it. Pulls down to Zagar, picking it up at his own 15. Now the Toronto keeper with the ball. Players on the bench tonight for the Rhinos include Delicott, Taylor, Kramer, Bolton, Becky, and Adosian. Also, of course, with the backup keeper, Pat Hannigan. That's the bench here tonight in Toronto. Cuddled off the chest of Lines in the center circle, turns and drops it back to Talguda. His own 40, drawing him forward, and now switching to the outside of the near wing for San Filippo. As he turns, looking to get away, a pass out to the midfield line for Ball. As he's challenged there, drawing it back, able to play it off into the middle for Birch. Has it along his 35, and now switching to the left wing for Talguda. Drawing it forward to midfield, a roller across midfield for Howes, checking back on the ball. To Kraft, spins it up the left side, and after goes Bagley. Bumping with Titus, and the ball rolls out of bounds off of the Lynx. Throw in for the Rhinos, 18 yards out off the left wing side. 1-0 Toronto on top. 33rd minute here in the Centennial Park Stadium. Bagley's going to leave the ball there. Birch will move in for the throw-in. And Bagley, his second game as a Rhino. just signed out of the second division. Where he made the first All-Star team. 6 times he was named the Team of the Week this season in the second division. Very impressive. Throwing out the left wing side, along the 6 in front, Bagley header toward the net, but misses a couple of feet wide right out over the end line. So it'll be a goal kick for Zagar. Again, talking about Bagley. 10 goals, 2 assists, 22 points in second division action with Wilmington this season. First All-Star team. Last year, also in Wilmington, had 7 goals, 2 assists, 16 points, so he bettered that this year. Didn't see time with the Charleston Battery back in 04. And 03 with Charleston, they won the league championship, so he's been around for a while and has a championship under his belt, or a couple of them. Through midfield, but right under the foot of ball, gets away from him, and then it's jammed high in the air downfield by Benedikovic. Deep in the corner of the left wing side, Birch and Pulaski battling as they grab on, and Birch getting to it with the left foot will drive it out through midfield. However, a foul was called on Pulaski, so it'll be a free kick for the Rhinos down around their own 10 on the near side of the field. 34th minute. 1-0, the Lynx leading. And Toronto's been a man down since the 5th minute. Rhinos have been unable thus far to take advantage of it, but you'll have to wonder about what that'll do as far as the fatigue factor. Down to the 18, Hammersley tried to slip it through, knocked down, and played out on the near side. Out ahead up the left wing by DiPlacido across midfield. This is watched there by Bonsu. He'll drop it off. Aristodemo chips it ahead to Dodge up the left wing, turning back with the ball. Then blocked away off a ball and out of bounds, so it'll be a throw-in on the near side for the Lynx at midfield. Not sure why Jamie Dodge is wearing number 25 tonight, ordinarily number 13. And he's wearing the 25 uniform. And in Rhino territory, Sanfilippo tripped up with the foot of DiPlacido. But first of all, the foul was called on the Rhinos, so it'll be a free kick for Toronto, 25 yards out off the left wing, the near side of the field. 35th minute, and the 1-0 lead for Toronto. Aristodemo placing the ball. Backs up, takes a run. Here's the kick. Serve it down around the 15 and booted away and out of the box by Birch. Coming down to the center circle, and Williams turns, and he'll spin it all the way back down to the keeper. Zagar, from his 15 with the right foot, drives it out through midfield. Headed by Bonsu and Dodge as they go up. Now settled at midfield. Hammersley knocks it loose for Bonsu, and the Rhinos have it. The Kraft through the circle ahead. Across midfield line, turns it to the outside. Bagley drops it back. It's onside of midfield for Palgoda. Turns back with the ball, drops it off in the middle. Birch along his 35. Throws it ahead to midfield. Center circle for Bonsu. Spins it up the left wing side, but underneath it is Williams. And one coming loose, and Howe's tipping it forward, but not enough on it. It's recovered by the Lynx. Williams in his own 18, blocked forward by Howe to the end line. That spins off in the corner. Howe turns away with the ball inside the 18. Trying to feed it through with the left foot, but headed away out of the box. Sliding in to block it away is Kraft, and the Rhinos recover the ball. On the left wing lines. They'll go for the net and pulled out of mid-air, and he's fixed by Zagar. Well, the Toronto keeper with the ball. 36th minute. Zagar with the right foot. High volley kick. Floater coming down right at the midfield line. Line sends it forward. Up the left wing for Howes. Turns toward the net. Begins to move upfield. To Ambersley. Spins it to the outside again for Lines. As he's challenged by Williams, trying to sneak through, blocked away, and the ball is out of bounds. Throw in on the far side for the Rhinos. Lines drawing it back. Played out around the 40 to Palgoda. Works toward the middle. And then drops it back to the midfield line, right in the center circle for Birch. Switching to the right wing now for Sanfilippo. Back in the center circle for Birch. He'll go long to the left wing side. And, well, they say underneath it, but offside is Bagley. So the offside, no, that's not Bagley. That is Kraft, rather. Offside against the Rhinos. Free kick for Toronto. And the argument going on with the referee as to where the ball will be placed. Zagar looking over at the linesman saying, well, there's where the line is. But the referee says, no, back up. And Zagar a little upset. Moves it back about 5 yards. 1-0 Toronto leading, having scored in the 21st minute. Zagar low kick out to midfield. Blocked in the center circle by Embersley as he's challenged. The ball taken away by DePlacido. Trying to chip it through. Birch and Pulaski battling for the ball. And the foul is called. Pulaski and Birch battling just outside the 18. The foul is called at the 20. And Pulaski down on the pitch. He is slow to get up. And they were shoulder to shoulder. Going for the ball, and the foul is called. And you wonder how many makeup calls there might be here tonight because the Lynx, of course, a man down since the 5th minute. And it seems to be the tendency, obviously, to make up some of those calls at times. It was definitely shoulder to shoulder, and you had to question who was pulling who. Obviously, they were both pulling at each other. But the foul is called on the Rhinos, and the ball will be placed 20 yards out, a little bit to the left of center. 39th minute. 1-0 lead for the Lynx. Bedernikovic, right-footed kicker. Dodge is there also. Aristodemo standing beside the ball. Ordinarily, we might see Dodge go for the frame on it. Rhinos have a 5-man wall with Jeffrey in the middle of the wall also. Now they go for the upper right left corner by Bedernikovic, and he puts it a foot high over top. Over the net. So a goal kick for the Rhinos. Sponsors of these broadcasts includes Weigel's, the official hot dog at Paytech Park. Also brought to you by Cintas. The service professionals discover what Cintas can do for your organization. By the Harrow East Athletic Club on the web at harroweast.com. Down with the right foot. Drives it out through midfield. Quick forward by Howes, but on the back end, Titus gets to it. Jams it out into the center circle. And Lines is there for the Rhinos. And Rochester has the ball back. Lines pass blocked away. Gets it back. Drops it to his own side of midfield for Birch. Through the center circle. Sanfilippo up the right side, approaching the midfield line. Into the circle once again for Birch. Goes to the left wing side. Checking back on the ball is Kraft. And she's able to block it down the feet and turns it off to Embersley. Back at the midfield line for Palguda. Into the center circle for Birch. Now the 40th minute here in Toronto. Birch looks downfield, draws it forward across midfield for Lines. Spins around, rolls it to the outside of the left wing for Palguda. He'll kick it down to Howes, back heel, in front along the 18, knocked down off of Kraft. Comes loose and brought away, but controlled by Toronto. Drawing it back, played to the keeper, and Zagar will first time it away. Headed forward by Sanfilippo for Lines. That's it 40 yards out in the middle. Able to slide it out on the near wing, catching up to it Sanfilippo along the near touchline for ball. And tackled away out of bounds by Bedernikovic. Throw in for the Rhinos. Quick throw in Sanfilippo for Embersley. Triple team. And the ball blocked away. Comes out of the near side, recovered by DePlacido. He'll drop it off, and Bedernikovic out to midfield. Knocked down to the center line by Birch. A pass ahead for Kraft. Rolls it off the Lines. Drops it to his own side of midfield. Birch to the circle on the left wing to Palguda. As he is challenged, pass off the Lines. To the outside. Howes dropping it back again. Palguda. Feed toward the middle for Kraft. To the outside again. Scott Palguda bringing it forward. Looking to slide it through. It rolls down inside the 18 to the 6. And taken there by Zagar. 41st minute. Toronto on top. 1-0. Extra applied by Bagley. So Zagar finally picks the ball up. Rolls it ahead outside the 18. Zagar. High floater downfield. Palguda knocks it forward out toward the midfield line. Knocked aside by Howes. Settles up for Embersley, and a chip up the left wing as he tries to slot it through, turning it behind Bagley as he's challenged there, and Rango taken down by Bagley, and the foul is called on the Rhinos. Rochester charged with the foul. Free kick for Toronto. 25 yards out. It will be taken by Zagar. 42nd minute. With the right foot, Zagar will deliver through midfield. And over top of everybody, out of bounds on the near side, and a throw in for the Rhinos at around their own 35. Sanfilippo for the throw in. Takes a look downfield, pulls it back in. Now he goes through midfield and tipped aside off of Embersley. Headed for Sanfilippo to Lines, but his pass blocked away by Dodge. Aristodemo in underneath it. He shanks it out of bounds on the far side. Throw in near midfield on the far side of the field for the Rhinos. Trying to be taken by Palguda. With the right foot, drives it out through midfield. Birch on the near side, off of the shoulder of ball and out of bounds. Well, this starts the final stretch for the Toronto Lynx. Great schedule they have. Only one more game on the road. Playing 5 of the last 6 games at home, including tonight. Montreal coming in here Wednesday. Then the 27th, Puerto Rico. September 3rd, Virginia Beach. Then they go on the road to Montreal. September 10th, Minnesota is here. So a great schedule to end things up for Toronto. On the near side, Sanfilippo draws it forward, then spins back with the ball and plays it off in the middle for Birch. Numbers 35 approaching the midfield circle. Waiting for help to come back. Gives it off to Ambersley. Switching to the outside of the left wing for Kraft. Across midfield. Return pass to Ambersley. Tips the pass ahead, but stepping in to intercept is Arestademo. DiPlacido to the outside of the near wing for Pulaski. Gets behind him, but able to keep it in. And now the whistle to stop play. They say evidently off his hands, so a foul and a free kick for the Rhinos. 44th minute. Nearing the half. 1-0 lead for the Lynx. Sanfilippo sends it through the center, circled off of the left wing, chased down by Palguda. Watched by Jeffrey, pass toward the middle lines, one touch ahead, but not too far ahead, and getting underneath it, Williams will and jam it through midfield into Rhino territory. Birch is there to head it away for Palguda. Couldn't quite reach it. Taken away by the Lynx. Moving up, Jeffrey turns it to the outside. Pulaski far into the 18, down to the 5, looking for the cross. He placed it over top of everything. Puts it all the way through the 6 and out the near side out of bounds. Throw in for the Rhinos on the near side of the field. Moving over for the throw in, Sanfilippo. 44th minute. He'll take the throw in from around his own 10. Referee trying to get him to back up. And now does so. Goes short, takes a run at it. Now the throw in for Bansu, and he'll spike it forward out toward midfield. Aristademo there to head it forward. Then it's blocked away by Sanfilippo in the middle for Palguda. Trying to switch to the left wing side for Kraft. Has it on his own 35. Ambersley tips it to the outside for Palguda. In underneath it, moves forward with the left foot and turns it to the outside for Aaron Lyons. Pass along for Ambersley. Crossing through the center circle on the right wing, but Benedikovic there to head it away. DiPlacido settling the ball and drawing it out to midfield, but he's taken down, and the foul is called on the Rhinos. Rochester foul, so we'll have a free kick for Toronto with the midfield line. 45th minute. 1-0 in favor of the Lynx. Benedikovic waiting for the players to move downfield. With the left foot, drives it away off on the right wing side. In underneath the Dodge in a collision with Kraft. He goes down with the ball on the far side. Is controlled still by Toronto. Williams dropping it back for Dodge. As he works the right wing side, draws it to the outside again for Williams. He'll play it back out around the 35 to Arango. With the right foot, sends it down inside, and Bello up in the air, comes down with it at his 10. Has the ball. With the right foot, drives a high floater downfield. Big bounce down inside the 18. One hop down to the 10 where it's grabbed by Zegar. Oh, big kick right there from Bello. We're in stoppage time here in Toronto at Centennial Park Stadium. Ball flighted through midfield, back for Palguda, heads it up in the air. Nodded away, blocked to the outside by Jeffrey, but it's behind Williams and out, so a throw in for the Rhinos from their own 40 on the far side. Thrown by Palguda, off the line, turns it back to the outside, and Palguda then will turn it on around his 35 toward the middle for Birch. Kenny Birch with the right foot, into the center circle for Bansu. Goes to the right wing side for ball. He slipped as he tried to turn back for the ball, and it went behind him and out of bounds. Throw in on the near side for the Lynx from their own 35. The throw in to Aristademo, touching it back to the outside, and Benedikovic first times it away downfield. Still in stoppage time. Here in Toronto, back for it goes Birch. Rolls it ahead out around his 35 to Lyons. Takes a look through the center circle, and when he's allowed to roll through and picked up back at his own side of midfield by Williams. He'll drop it back for Arango, and with the right foot drives it down into Rhino territory. Now Gouda there to head it away toward midfield. Lyons gets to it, but couldn't keep it in play as the ball out of bounds. Throw it on the far side for the Lynx. Long on the right side, and Jeffrey on the throw-in, blocked off the ball by Kraft, and it's taken by Palguda. With the left foot, spins it out through midfield, but out of bounds again. Another throw-in on the far side for the Lynx. Somewhere around the Rochester 35 or 40. Lynx having taken a 1-0 lead back in the 21st minute. Williams for the throw-in. Goes up the right wing side to Jeffrey as he battles 1v1 with Palguda, and the whistle blows, and that ends the first half. So the Lynx, even though a man down since the 5th minute, have come out on top after one half of play here at Centennial Park Stadium. After a half, it's the Toronto Lynx 1 and the Rochester Rhinos nothing. And this is the Rhinos Podcast Network.